What's up, guys? This is Pound from Pound's Firearms, and today we're going over a SIG P320, if I get this open, along with potentially one of the coolest pistol accessories I've ever seen. Stay tuned and we'll check these out. Alright guys, welcome back here. So yes, we have a SIG P320. Got a, I don't know what size magazine this is. The steel mag. Don't know where this came from here, but I think it's 25 round, 30 rounder, 27, something like that. And then we got a SIG P320 in 9mm. Just double check here. It's not clear, but it's not bad here. That is a laser trainer here, so you can see, you should be able to see the dot go off there. If not, it's hitting right about there. But yep, so yeah, SIG P320. This is chambered in 9. It does have, I don't know much about it here other than yeah, it was kind of pieced together here. I bought it used, and took me a while to get some paperwork for it here. So it does have a flat facing trigger. It feels like it's a pretty light trigger here. I've never actually tested it out. So the couple things you're going to probably notice is there's no front sights. The reason for that is because I was running an optic on it, and they weren't coat witnessing. So I was like, well, what the heck? There's no reason to have irons if I'm not going to coat witness. But then I found this pistol accessory. So then I was like, you know what? I'm going to pull off the red dot so we can play around with the pistol accessory here. Once the paperwork came in. It took a while for the paperwork to come in. That'll be a separate video if you wanted to go ahead and double check that here. We'll set this aside for a second. Quickly go over the bag here. If you have not seen this before here, it is a cool little sling bag. Depending on what hand you're going with, you know, if you're left or right-handed, you switch it to whichever side you want the sling bag on. We'll review the sling bag here in a second. I've kind of put this on to where it sits on the front. So this would dangle a sling over the front right here. And you got a big grab handle here. So grab the handle and look at this cool little thing that pops out of here. We'll set the bag aside here for a second. So if you haven't guessed it yet, this is a B&T BWC-9. The BWC, not even kidding, stands for because we can. Interesting. And the 9 is because it's a 9mm here. So if you haven't figured this out yet, this is a pistol accessory. So it does come with an acro and a good old handle. And that's about all that you can tell from here. So there is a lever up here. So technically this, when we get into it here, this will be the charge handle. And right here on this side is a release here. So you don't necessarily use the charge handle, but if you use this release and just slide about a quarter turn, this thing comes open. So this is where my 17 rounder is at here. So yeah, so this thing comes open, and there we go. So now we're gonna have, like I said, the coolest pistol accessory ever, in my opinion. I'm sure there's some other cool ones out there, but this doesn't quite fold as good, or the other ones don't quite fold as good as this one here. So yeah, as you saw, it was pretty fluid in my opinion. We'll go and fold this back up here. So I'll kind of go over it again here. So you hit the, I'm going to have to hold it close to the camera, but you hit the lever, the whole thing comes flying down, and as long as there's enough weight on here, the handle's going to go ahead and lock, the grip's going to go ahead and lock in place, and then this will lock in place. The only thing that holds this in place is this little doodad here. I think they call it a cheek weld, but there's, from your shoulder to here, there's no way anybody's cheek fits that unless you got like a 12-inch neck. But yeah, so this is what holds it in place, is a little notch here and a little I don't even know what you want to call that there, tab there, and they kind of meet, kind of like that. So once they meet, there's a little spring in here. Once they meet, it's pretty solid so far. It wobbles a little bit, but you know, I mean, it folds. So yeah. Let's take a quick tour. So now that it's in this mode here, you do have a magazine release, which you already saw. This is a 21 round magazine. So magazine release comes right out. There's also this lever here. So this thing right here is It's pretty decent design in my opinion. But when you're holding it, when you're gripping it, it's pressed, so you're not going to notice it. So the magazine is going to come in and out here. The purpose of this though is when you fold it, it catches the magazine so it doesn't fall out while it's flopping around. Now the way the mechanics work here is you can't, in order to clear the trigger, the magazine's got to be that far back here. If the magazine's all the way in here, it's going to snag the trigger. You'll see that here in a few minutes. But yeah, so that's kind of how that goes together there. So that keeps the magazine from completely falling out. But those that are worried about it, once you have the grip on there, it's it doesn't take much of a grip, even a loose grip, and the magazine's still just falling in and out here without grip, without catching it. But yeah, so that's how that folds, and then there's a little lever right back here. If you can see that, there's a lever right back here. You hit that, and that's what releases the grip, and it kind of folds. If you guys ever saw those folding Glocks, it looks like they're using pretty close to the same technology. It's kind of the same hinge point there. Obviously, it's not holding a Glock, but yeah. So then that's how that folds, and like I was already showing you the back piece of it here. So once you lift up this tab a little bit, it's a little spring loaded here, but once you lift up the tab, it'll unhook, and then this whole thing will kind of just dangle. And then you can kind of just put it right back together. Now I was searching the internet here before I did this video, and there's a couple videos out there already, so it's not very popular. But there's one group of people, or a couple of guys there. I've never seen them before, but I saw them just for this video, and they really knocked on this thing here. So we're gonna find out if it's really that bad, or if they were just coming up with stuff. So I'll kind of go over some of the things they were bagging on it here in when we go outside and shoot it. But yeah, we can look at the other side. Let's go ahead and take a look at the other side. There are no fire controls. There's no safeties. There's no slide releases. No nothing. So it does not lock open. And yeah, there's no safety. So there is the lever on this side to release it, which again, just moving it back that little bit unlatches that, which unhooks it from the top there, and it also doubles as the charging handle. So that'll be the charging handle once we get it together here. So you're asking, how do we get it together? Well, I've been blabbing here for 10 minutes already, so we're probably gonna have to cut this down. But let's see if we can get this apart real quick. Maybe. There we go. So, kind of AR-ish, you pull that pin, and then this whole cover is going to rotate out. It doesn't lock into place. You'll see that it doesn't really lock, but there's kind of how it hooks up right here, and you just made it like this. So all the way forward, it'll pop it out automatically. But yeah, you can technically slide it when it's just cracked. But yes, so if you keep going forward, it eventually pops out. Then we'll show you the inside. The inside here here's the charging handle piece of it. So you'll see when I put it together, it's actually really cool how this is kind of set up. Oops, you weren't seeing any of that. It's really cool how this is kind of set up here. So this little block right here actually hooks on or caresses the slide of the P320, and then so when you're racking it, it's actually just cocking the slide back. It's pretty cool how it's going to work here. It does work with full size and compacts. There are shims that come with it if you wanted to go over the compacts or the smaller slides. But yeah, so take the sucker magazine out here. So as you can see here, there's no trigger or anything here. So basically what it takes is it's going to take the P320 trigger assembly. This is why I had to wait for paperwork. But it's going to take the P320 trigger assembly and the slide. It doesn't use the frame here. So we're going to go ahead and fast forward through that here. I'm going to go ahead and take the SIG apart and start getting it going for you here. The slide, trigger assembly, pop this out, and there's the group, all right? So it always goes on the same way here. So we preemptive. This takedown lever's got to come all the way out. There it goes. And now kind of slides in the same orientation here. So you cannot use a P320 that's got a manual safety. So if you have a manual safety, this will not work for you. This is only for 320s that do not have a manual safety. So basically just line it up in there. Now one thing I've noticed, it's kind of a bear. the tolerances are way too high. I don't know if it's just a difference in my trigger group or what, but it is it's way too tight in my opinion. So when I pull this out, you'll see I have to pry it off with the slide, and it doesn't just fall into place. At this point, we're kind of, I mean, I'm pushing on it here pretty good. We're kind of stuck at this point here, so I'm going to make sure it's back all the way. And what I've been having to do is taking the slide, kind of putting it back on it. This is pretty janky. I don't think it's supposed to be this way. And then use the slide to kind of mash it back in place here. We're getting close, I think. So you want those holes in here. You want this to line up. So we're almost there. So we do a little bit more smashing. Now I think we're lined up. Let's try it now. Yeah, I don't know why it's so tough. There we go. Now it's kind of going in there. So let me rotate it. Oops, I went the wrong way. Let me rotate it the right way. Push it in there. Push, rotate, ends up snapping. You'll hear a couple snap, crackle, pops. And next thing you know, it just kind of falls in there after a few seconds here. Rotate it the other way. There it goes. All right. So now we're almost in there now. Now I got to find out the correct rotation. There we go. So there's just like the takedown lever. I'm going to pull the whole thing back out here. Takedown lever on the pistol. There's this little notch, and there's a groove that kind of rides and does like a little half moon. So same thing with this one here. So then you're going to rotate it just like you would the P320. So there's locked, and there's all the way open. Locked, all the way open. We're going to want it all the way open for this one. Then, again, this is what I have to wait for the paperwork for, because for those of you that know about this, once you put this on here, it's a big no-no, because that is not a brace. So slide the slide on here. This sometimes gives me grief, so we'll see. Sometimes this requires a little finagling too. There we go. And then getting the slide lock up. It's kind of a chore. There we go. Now, I'm going to rotate this. So I think we're in the locked position now. So if I was let the slide go home, it should be locked. There we go. So like I was saying now, that bar is going to attach to the front of the slide kind of like that. And then it cocks it by pushing it from the very front like this. It's really cool. So then the other thing you'll notice too is that it's designed to have plenty of room back there. Oh, my hand's probably in the way. Plenty of room back there for the slide to go back to go ahead and complete the action here. So now I still have my trigger guard in there, or my laser point, or laser thing in there. There we go. I don't know if you saw that or not here. We'll point here. There we go. Awesome. Now, there's the magazine in there. Actually, let me go and put it together here. So, we got that part in there. So, let me go and slide this down. Now, what's going to happen is, you'll notice that the slide lock here, it's going to be covered here once I pinch this in. And this is what keeps it from locking open. Push your pin in. There we go. So now as you can see from this side, now you have your slide in there. And there is the charging handle. Let me see here. From a better angle here. So there's the charging handle, there's the ejection port. And yeah, it does not lock open like I said. But there you go. Right here. Cool. So there we have it, guys. So we put it together. We got the Aimpoint acro on here. I have not zeroed it in, so maybe we'll try to zero it in here when we take it outside. But that's it. So now that it's together, let's go ahead and put this back here. We'll put the magazine back in here just enough to slide it. And this is what I'm talking about here. So if it's all the way up, you'll notice as it folds, it's hitting the trigger. So this is why it has this little extra notch. Oops, at least that. That's why it has this little extra. Now it fits. You'll see here, so there's, like I said, there's that one video that I saw where these guys are really bagging on this thing here. So, I mean, to me, hold it like this, and there's no problems. they're making it sound like this. It doesn't fit and it sticks and everything else. I haven't run into that yet. Hit the lever. Whole thing comes together, and you'll notice that the magazine does not automatically sit. So, and I'll show you when we go outside here. Basically, you have to train yourself that the second you hit the lever, you're coming up and you're thumping that, because your hand is already going to be, your hand's already going to be on the handle. So as it releases, you're going to thump, you jam that magazine in. Once that magazine goes in, you reach to there, and then you transition over to your handle, and then you're charging or whatever you need to do with this. So that is the put together here. I'll do the bag real quick here before we go outside. I know this is kind of turning into a longer video. Hopefully I can edit some of that out. But yeah, so it is pretty discreet. It's funny, a lot of people go for the Vertex bags and you know, because the Vertex has all the cool mollies and everything else, which this one does. But it's pretty funny. Funny story. I'll digress for a second. Funny story. I was at a kids trampoline place with my daughter. We're out there having a good time, and as lo and behold, this one dude walks by with a Vertex fanny pack. It's like, huh, this is why I don't get a Vertex fanny pack, because I know exactly what you have inside that fanny pack. So I thought it was kind of funny, because I really wanted to get one. And then I was like, wait a minute. If somebody knows what Vertex is, they already know what you got in that bag. So, yes, this is unmarked. So unless you really know what's going on with this one, but yes. So it's going to have a front pocket. In the front pocket, it is going to be very Vertex-ish. So I'm going to go ahead and have an additional admin pocket up here. This is where I put all my paperwork. I also have, here's the shims if you use a short slide on the from the P320. And here is the aim-point stuff as well with aim-point's tool. So I'm just keeping that in here along with my other paperwork. I don't remember. I think that was it for the front. So then you, for this pouch. So yeah, so Molly, just kind of like a Vertex-ish, I guess, if you will. And you open up the main pouch. This is where it came out of. It's got the B&T logo, but this is where it came out of. It's got a big giant piece of Velcro here. Not sure what I'm going to do with that, because this thing kind of already takes up most of the space. You know, once you consider the handle and everything else. So I'm not sure what I would put in here in the Velcro. Obviously the Molly put mags, first aid, whatever. So then, so then there's also a pouch in the back here. So yeah, so this is going to be up against either your back or your stomach, depending on or your chest, however you're going to run it. Like I said, I've been running it in the front, kind of slung like this, with the pull tab on this side. Yank twice, kind of make this corner. It's enough room to go ahead and pull that out. And I'll show you when we get outside. But yeah, so that's the Vertex, Vertex. That's the B&T bag that comes with the BWC-9. All right, guys, so I'm kind of excited. Let's go out there and let's take a few shots. All right, guys, welcome back to the range. We're sitting at the, heck, I don't know, 20-yard line, mark, whatever. But yes, we're out here with the B&T Because We Can 9, BWC-9. So yeah, so there's been some pretty harsh reviews out there. Kind of started talking about it there. And one of the harsh reviews is how to get this thing deployed. So we're out here in the range. Ideally, it'd be something like this, slung, crush your body. You got the pull tab, get this thing out. And here it is right here. Here's the switch that we're talking about, okay? I mean, you hit that. So that one didn't catch, but yeah. So you hit that, then it's just a matter of popping that up. So some of the harsh reviews are like, oh, what do I do? You know, yeah, it takes some learning. So we'll put this away real quick just so you can see. So take it out of the bag, hit this, smack it with your left hand, put it where you need to grab, and now you're ready to rock. I didn't think it was that hard of a process, in my opinion. Of course, this wind's gonna play havoc now, but here it is right here. Hit the button, grab, you're ready to rock. I don't think it was that bad. So I think there's some harsh reviews out there. Yeah, this thing's expensive. Yeah, this thing's gimmicky. Yeah, this thing's probably never gonna be used the way it should be used. Man, this wind, I swear, it's only when I come out here. It was calm out here, that's why I came out. So yeah, so the idea is you get this out of your bag, you hit it, you grab it, ready to rock. The way this thing works is you do have to charge it once. Actually, before I charge it, let me pause for station identification. The reason why I pause it is because I do have a, I don't know if you can see that or not, but a laser trainer in there. I didn't pull my laser trainer out, so it'll be kind of hard to load around with a laser trainer in there. So I'll be right back. Okay. Now we have a clear chamber. Yep, clear chamber. So now let's do that again here. So we'll go ahead and just go through the whole process here. We'll go ahead and deploy. Another thing the reviewers were saying before is it's so hard to put away. If you just let that thing dangle naturally, hit this, it does it every time. So is it a gimmicky? Yes. Is it the best thing out there? No. But you know, anyways, so it's not chambered, red dot's on, walking around, you hit this, grab this, reach for the charger, we are charged, lean up and smack something. So downside to this setup is there's no safety, so trigger awareness is going to be key in this one. Muzzle control and muzzle direction is going to be key on this one too. But yeah, so now this thing's chambered. So yes, the barrel, I have a full size, the barrel sticks out to here. You grab it up here, you feel the expansion. It hasn't pinched me yet, but I can see that being a possibility. So what I've been practicing, I've just been holding it down here by the trigger guard. So let's hold it down here by the trigger guard. I don't know if you're noticing this or not, but the ejection pattern, it's kind of scary. The ejection pattern, it looks like this thing's just barely falling out. So I was blaming the B&T at first for the rounds barely falling out. But you'll see in a minute when I put it back together, it's this specific P320, because even with without the B&T part, if it's just the P320 part, it still barely ejects. So I'm gonna go ahead and do here, I'm gonna dump the magazine out, take the last round out here. So now it should be empty. So it does not lock open. Another sad part in my opinion, but she is clear. Now the biggest struggle here is this charging handle. Just general physics, if you grab the outside of the charging handle, it is tweaking ever so slightly, but it's still tweaking the whole assembly, and then it's trying to come back at an angle. It gets bound up a lot. So what I've been learning here is if I get closer to here, closer to the rail, and then yank it back, that's a lot more smoother than holding it. Well, yeah, as you can see, that one barely even went. I can't even get it to go from the outside. So if I go to the inside, rack's a lot easier than the outside. I think it's just how it binds up. So if you're all the way up against the rail, it charges just fine. So yeah, so we'll demo this thing out one more time here. We'll do shots and everything else. We're gonna stow it. Really, I mean, I'm telling you, just hold that and click it. It's really not that big of a deal. So we're walking down. Oh geez, charged. There we go. This thing is pretty fun, honestly. This thing is fun. Is it the best thing in the world? No. Is it kind of a gimmick? Yes. But it is a fun gimmick. Alright guys, so we got it all loaded up here, so we'll pop off a couple more and then I'll transition it back over to the handgun here so you can kind of see that motion out here in the open. But yeah, again, I didn't find it that difficult. Open it, hit it, charger up. I think I'm already chambered. That's the hard part. No chamber indicator. I'm gonna say that I am, but we'll try it here. Ooh, I was. Good thing I had good trigger control. So yeah, so now we're not chambered. So let's try that again. So again, to fold it, lift up. It's in its natural position. Just hit it. It's not that big of a deal. So you're swinging along, swinging along, swinging along, swinging along. See, danger. You hit it, charge it from the close. And there goes the target. Awesome, we're down to one. What did that one do here? What's in there? Oh, wonder why the trigger was dead. It charged fine. The dead trigger. Well, huh. Wonder if something broke, because that's 2 in a row now that haven't ejected, but they've been in there and the trigger's not going off. Try one more time here. It's chambering. Bad rounds, I guess. Let's see if it's working okay. Oh, that one's dead. Oh, maybe because we're actually out this time. We're actually out that time. Well, there we go. All right, well, let me go ahead and transition it back over. And we'll shoot a couple more out of the P320. I can show you the ejection pattern on that. There it goes. Yeah, I guess, I don't know, just wasn't seated. Who knows? Maybe pounding it down helped. Forth, because whatever piece that is there. Okay. Now, this traditionally, yeah, it's way too stuck in there. So I think, I don't know if it's just a break-in thing or what, but what I've been having to do is put the slide in there and yank up on the slide just a hair, a little bit, maybe. Maybe we'll get this thing off. There it goes. Yep, so I kind of have to yank it out. Let's see what kind of wear we're getting here. So I think these are just wear marks from, that's from the slide release. Yeah, those are slide release marks. A couple little dings in there. It's not horrible. I did that one. That was my fault because I didn't bring a screwdriver. All right, P320. It's a lot easier on the P320. Slide this sucker in. Gotta put the trigger in first a little bit. Jam it in there. Oh, that pin was walking it. Maybe that's my problem. I just pushed that pin in. That pin was walking it. Bet you that's why I was having such a problem here. All right, all the way back, all the way down. It lines up. Take the SIG. Take that lever. It's in there. Slide the slide on. Function check. Sounds good. Now I do not have sights on this because I took the red dot off. All right. Don't have an optic. Feel like it charged okay. All right, we'll see. I don't have front optics, so we'll see if I can hit something here. I hit that, but as you can see, these things are really dumping off here. Oh, it hit me in the shoulder. Considering I don't have an optic, I'm doing pretty good here. Oh, that one's still on my shoulder. Yeah, I feel like it should be ejecting a lot further. They're like landing right in here. So even without the B&T on it, it still kind of ejects a little lame. So I don't know if that's this specific P320 or if that's normal for most of them. But yeah, there we go, guys. I'm gonna take it back to the bench to close it out. But let's just do it from here. Let's put the sucker back together. Pitch that off. All right, so again, this lifts up. That's what releases this whole mechanism here. There's a lever right here that releases the hand grip. When it sits like this, you just push and it closes. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. Lever, hit it. You gotta get into the habit of hitting that. Once you hit that, you grab, then you shoulder it. Then if you need to rack, you rack. Okay? I don't think it's that bad. Takedown was a little rough. I just realized I didn't put this takedown pin back in here, and it's doing it again now. Huh, that's interesting. I don't know what that's about. I forgot to put this back in though. It looks like that pin got turned around because it was facing a completely different direction here. Well, hell, maybe you don't get to see the end of it here. Interesting. Last time I just pounded it around. Here, let me close it and reopen it here. Maybe we don't open it. Let's see. There, that made a difference. I have no idea what's going on with that. That part fell off. So that's one thing you have to be careful with is, this is that trigger guard thing that was on there. I've learned, well, I didn't learn obviously because I still did it, but you shouldn't open this. Oh shit. Dropping stuff. That was a spring, I think. But you shouldn't open this. You shouldn't open the top part until this this grip is intact, because then that pinches that off here. And I didn't learn my lesson, so now that, and there's a spring somewhere. Is it an everyday tool? No. Is it gimmicky? Yes. Is it $2,500 cool? I don't know. I didn't pay $2,500 though. I did pay for this out of my own money. Yeah, you know, it's fun to me. It's fun. It's cool. It looks cool. I don't know. I think I'm gonna do. We'll see. I'm gonna do something with it. I think I'm gonna do like some sort of sticker kit. Maybe make it look like an old '90s boombox or something. But it's fun. You know, I'm gonna try it out on the beach. I'll take this thing out to the beach with me, and that'll be my beach gun basically. If anything, I got a pretty cool bag. All right, guys. This is Pound for Pounds Firearms. Signing off. Bonus footage. I found my spring.